live. Hello, everybody. Welcome to another Super Secret Project sketch. I am Eric Whalen from Super Secret Project X, and this has been not the longest week ever, but long enough. And I'm a little burnt, I'm a little stupid and slow, and soon I'm going to have a little bit of the bean juice in me. So. Oh, there we go. Okay, today, yes, you were seeing laughable things. Yes, no? Okay, today,
Laughing at you.
you can tell we are focused. I'm going to do, he's not like the greatest character ever, but I liked him quite a bit because he was sort of a dope. I'm going to do, well, dopes can be fun. I'm going to do Dale from Chip and Dale's Rescue Rangers, and you know, I loved early Chip and Dale, but Rescue Rangers was fun because basically old Chip and Dale was the same character outside of the nose, to my recollection. So I'm sitting there thinking to myself, I kind of like the fact that they made one Indiana Jones and the other one Tom Selleck from Magnum P.I. And, okay, minus the fact that they didn't give him the man porn stash. I like this version. Oh, they did. They gave him the symbolic ends of the mustache with the teeth. That's funny. Yeah. Yeah.
We'll see how far I can go with this one because I freaking love me some Chip and Dale Rescue Rangers. That's
One quick second.
yeah.
I grabbed the wrong pencil. I'll be right back.
Yeah, you could have asked me to get it for you.
That's all right. I'm trying to remember where I stuck it. There it is. Found the pencil. All right, come back. Gonna get that, I would assume, chunk of bologna that was sticking to it
Does it have
removed.
a first name?
Hmm?
Does it have a first name?
My pencil has a first name. It's a word that's far too complicated for me right now to spell out because I'm a little burnt. So they're going like, that man is on the pot, and I'm like, no, I'm just had a bit of a week.
Sesquidalian loquaciousness?
Who's what now?
Gesundheit. I was saying sesquidalian loquaciousness.
Oh, dude, that's too much for me right now. Oh, you see,
I love that word.
don't do that. There you go. Good boy. All right.
Sit, boo-boo, sit.
Good dog. All right.
Well, say, I freaking loved me some Chip and Dale. That was my jam back in the day, and
It was one of the better ones. Yeah.
I don't know. Well, I know why I loved it. Gadget is like one of my
Oh, she's great.
all-time favorite characters.
She's totally awesome.
One of my main characters that I've designed comic-wise was actually based off and inspired.
Just completely
from her
ripped off
design.
from her. I just ripped her off.
But it was inspired by her, and I love Rescue Rangers, and it was just such a fun show for me, and fun story. I actually got kicked out of a school play because of Rescue Rangers.
That's the way to do it.
Yep. I had every episode memorized. We're going to go into a fascinating down trip of my
Fabulous.
brain. I love the show so much that my favorite episodes I actually wrote down whenever they came on so I can time when they would come on again and do like this because they cycle them in order, and so I actually had a log.
A calendar.
Yes.
You had a calendared schedule.
Yes. And so
Good for you.
when my favorite episodes were coming on, it was during the school play that I got into. And along with that, it was other factors also. But it's like I didn't want to miss them because I love these episodes.
Well, yeah, and like school plays, who cares? No offense to the play people, but I just.
Well, I cared because I actually liked performing and I liked being in the school play and all. And I actually had
I was forced to. I hated that stuff.
I was actually in one of the major parts, and like I said, that withstanding, there was also other situations that was going on, but I wasn't getting the parts like I should. I was having trouble in some classes, and unfortunately, they were the classes that I tried to seek help in, but growing up in the 80s and late 90s, late 80s, early 90s, school help wasn't there
Oh yeah,
for students as much as they are
public
now.
school. I in spirit am behind it, but a lot of them are just
It needs better
they're
work.
not good enough.
Yeah, and so there was like some math classes and some language arts classes. We were going through a section where I was having trouble, and I love English and I love language arts, and that was like one of my best classes. But we were going through a section where I was having some trouble in, and so because of that, my grades were not doing too well, and so between that and the wanting to just go home and watch Rescue Rangers, I was not learning my parts like I should and forgetting lines, and so my teacher swapped me out for like one line in the play and gave my part to another girl who was doing that. And yeah, and I was just like, I was hurt and upset, but in the long run, I'm just like,
I didn't want to be in it anyway.
I was like, well, it was like, yeah, I wanted to be in it, but I'm just
Not
like,
compared to Rescue Rangers. Now don't tell me that. You just got done telling me how you just created like a magical Rescue Ranger calendar, and there was a school play in the way, and I'm like, I get it.
which I actually still have that. It's in storage somewhere, but I know
Nice.
I have all of my like old school drawings from like elementary, high school. I still have a few of those, and I know that pile of calendar markings is still in there somewhere.
Nice.
Yeah, but I'm gonna have to see if I can find it again. But anyway, that was my fun Rescue Rangers got me kicked out of a school play story.
And that's when I busted the whiskey bottle on the bar, and I was like,
Lady, got me some Rescue Rangers. You're testing me,
I'm about
lady.
I'm about to go Monterey Jack on some mofos.
What?
let me see.
But yeah, I had one of those giant, the 10 color pens. And so I burned through the ink because I would draw all the characters and color them with the pen because sweet 10 color pen.
Well, yeah. I mean, back then that was kind of,
Oh, that was the jam.
it
That
was amazing back
Yeah.
then because it was like science fiction in your hand.
It's
That's
like
right. The 80s were that primitive.
late 80s over there. Because I mean, it was the mid 80s they came up with that 4-color pen with the white top and the colored barrel at the bottom and had green, red, black, and blue ink that you could snap out, and that was mind blowing. And then when they came out with that 10-color pen, oh man, you couldn't stop us kids. And of course, when they first came through, all of the rich kids had them first, and all of the rest of us were just like, "This is so cool." And then they started selling them in the bookstores, and did they have them? No, I think they had them in the bookstore, but they were like the cheap kind that broke really easy. But then my mom and dad like saw that I really wanted one, and they got me one from like one of the department stores or something like that. And, that pen was so cool. They actually brought it back, let me say a couple of years ago, one of the nostalgia things. They brought it back, but they were selling it for like $10 or something. So yeah.
Yeah. Bring that side down a little bit there. That's what I always loved about this sort of style is it holds on to a certain amount of actual three-dimensionality. Like it's there, unlike some styles where they're so flat that they're really more symbolic. So there's a certain level of actual structure.
Yeah, it's like
Even though there's some
built.
fudging, it's still there.
Yeah, it's the what I call the toy build factor,
Yeah.
which is one of the reasons why I like there's cartoons that I like that, and especially what I like about your style is because the way you build things reminds me of the way toys are constructed, and I love toys, and I love being able to see and visualize and yeah.
Well, I've always loved cartoons, and it's not me telling anybody what's right or wrong. I just like the ability to kind of feel the object and roll it around in my head and turn it around and stuff, and I don't always succeed, but that's always my goal is when I look at a cartoon character, go like, how can I make that work? And it's why I don't immediately go for the really flat styles like Adventure Time, even though I like the show. I don't really think that way. You know, I like the stuff that's a little dimensional. But the thing about this is it's dimensional and it has like this beautiful flowy style to it. And so it's super easy to completely screw the thing up. It really is. Like this cheek, everything else is working pretty good. But now I'm trying to get the cheek here to work.
It needs to a little bit down, a little bit in.
Yeah, as I was kind of thinking myself, it's just, it wasn't, like this cheek over here feels pretty good.
Yeah, that one looks right, yeah.
And this one is just kind of kicking my butt at the moment.
Yeah, because with them you have to realize it's almost like a double cheek because they have the interior color and the outside
Yeah.
color. So
Yeah, and it's right now I'm just trying to get the dang thing to work, and I think part of it is I need to get the back of his head in more.
I just saw it pop up. Apparently Scott Bakula is teasing a Quantum Leap revival.
You know, it's not a terrible idea, but the way they ended the series was so kind of unsatisfying. I mean, it really was. It was basically a Deus Ex Machina. God just was like, I'm taking over, and now the guy's jumping around fixing time because of God. Which is fine if it was like a religious show or they had some kind of foreshadowing to it. But it was like out of nowhere. It was like, oh no, I'm God, and now I'm gonna make you jump around and fix things. It was like, really? That's what you decided to do with it, huh? And so, that, like, as a kid, I wasn't like mad like I was at the X-Files for never coming back to the original story. That made me mad. But with Quantum Leap, I was just like, kind of sat there and went, huh, okay.
I watched a few of the episodes. I never really got into it.
It's an okay show.
Yeah, I thought it was.
I mean, I remember having fun with it. It wasn't like the greatest thing ever, but I still enjoyed it.
Right.
And then they did that ending, and I kind of just sort of went, and never went back to it because it was such a unsatisfying ending.
I mean, I would have rather even had an ending where he literally, you know, what they said at the beginning of the show, if he can ever make it back home. It's like, fine, have him go home, you know, but instead it was like, now we're going to power up your sci-fi time travel machine with Jesus juice, and here we go. And I was like, okay, like, we just highway heaven to the thing, you know, like... I mean, which is fine. I'm not saying that people that you know the church going folk can't have their sci-fi. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying it was just so out of nowhere that I was like, huh. And I was a kid that went to church, you know, and I was like, huh. I didn't see that coming.
I don't know because I've never seen it, but yeah.
It was an okay show. I mean, it had like good episodes and bad episodes, and the idea was good enough. And you had the fun of, you know, a time traveling guy, and you always saw the same actor, but when you saw the reflection, it was the person they were playing. I mean, it had some fun shticks
I
to
remember
it,
that being pretty cool.
you know, and blah blah blah. But then you had that ending, and I think literally at that point, I was just like, oh, I guess I'm just good with not coming back to this, because it was literally one of those, like, just, it wasn't, like I said, it wasn't mad. It was just like, it was a literal emotional, huh. It was like, if that has an emotional word, I don't know what it is, but it was that. Oh, huh. Oh, okay. You know, you're like, neat. You know, I guess it would have been the same, like, at the end of, like, Star Trek II, the Wrath of Khan, Buddha showed up and helped them, target Khan's ship. It was just like, huh. Or like in Genesis, Darth Vader shows up. And you're like,
certainly something.
huh. Is that Darth Vader in the Bible? It's kind of like that, where you're like, huh. You got my you got your peanut butter in my pickle juice, and I got my pickle juice in your peanut butter. Some things just don't go together. It's like, exactly right. That's my point. You're like, huh. It'd be like watching an Indiana Jones movie and like the Easter Bunny showing up. Or like, you know what I mean? Like just some sort of like random other, like a culturally associated thing where you're like, huh?
Or like watching an Indiana Jones movie and crystal head aliens show up.
If they ever did that in an Indiana Jones movie, one would think that it would make a craptacular movie. And no offense to anybody who might enjoy such a horrendous poop fest, but it's such a nice thing that they never made a fourth Indiana Jones movie. Oh, why would you ever even joke about something like that? That's just...
I still think, and I feel free, I'm going to put this out into the world. I would have loved, and I've told you this before, but this is out for the world now. Somebody like, there's Indy, and he's going through the treasure cave.
I heard this is a good idea.
And he's doing his thing, and he like sees the treasure. Alright, he goes up to it, and he reaches for it in the crevice, and he grabs it, but at the same time another hand grabs it. And
Yes.
he's like, what the heck? And pulling it back and forth in that great comedic pull, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And he pulls it, and dude flips over. What the heck? Who are you? And the guy looks up and just goes, Dr. Jones?
Dr. Jones?
What? Holy crap, wait.
Short round?
Short round?
In all of Short Round's travel buddies are the actors from the Goonies. I'm just saying. He doesn't have to do it. I'm just saying. I would enjoy that little bit of silliness. Well, yeah, like the moment I heard that idea, I was like, why wasn't there an Indiana Jones where the person that would pick up the mantle would be that character? I loved that dude. And you could have like totally the next Indiana Jones being like this Asian guy. And I would be like, that'd be freaking fabulous because it's already part of the whole,
It's lore,
mythos
yeah.
and stuff. And
Yeah, I remember like...
and if they ever did a fourth Indiana Jones movie, it should be that. I'm just saying.
I remember thinking about that going, why is it this? Like, come on, man, I want to hear this. I want to see this.
Mr. Jones?
Dr. Jones?
Dr. Jones. I loved that guy as a kid. That kid was like one of my kid heroes.
And he still has the old like tattered baseball cap, and that would have been
yeah.
awesome.
Or at least like at one point in time he replaced it with a bigger one. Because he was like a little dude, so his hat would have been tiny. Unless he's like this big Asian guy with all like the Uncharted moves and stuff, and like a little kid hat, which would be somewhere between awesome and creepy.
I always thought the hat was like it was a bigger adult hat. He just had it like adjusted around properly, so as he got older, it would be, it would fit better. But yeah, that would have been fun to see. Excuse me. Dr. Jones?
Dr. Jones?
Or would it be more like Dr. Jones?
Dr. Jones? He'd still have that wonderful soft accent, yeah. I don't care what anyone says about political correctness and stuff. I love soft accents on characters mixed with English. It's just cool. It doesn't have to be there,
I'm not saying that's an absolute, but when it is there, it's just cool. I don't know. I just think it's great. Doesn't have to, but it's probably because I grew up in the '80s and that happened all the time. But I mean,
Well, that it happened, yeah, with the in the stereotypical sense. So yeah.
yeah, but I mean, there's
Well,
as long as the stereotypes aren't done with a mean spirit, there's nothing wrong with
Well,
them.
that's what I'm saying. It was done in the stereotype where it was done for the sake of American audiences, and very rarely was it done insulting. But yeah, it was done because
Earlier, it was done insultingly, but
I'm
that,
saying-
that changed.
What I'm saying in
though.
the '80s, for the most part,
Yeah.
if it was insulting, it was done because the person was a villain. In the sense.
And it was usually German
Yeah, exactly.
or Russian.
I mean, because that once again, Indiana Jones. But yeah, I didn't for the most part. I mean, and unfortunately, I can't say. Oh, I can speak from my point of view with a lot of the '80s black slang that would come through and all that. That's almost the same thing because nearly every black person, movie-wise, was either a drug
Sure.
dealer, pimp. Very
Sure,
rarely
no.
was the hero.
I don't mean that stuff.
Well, I'm saying, but accent-wise, I'm speaking for accent-wise because a lot of the accents, whether Americanized or non-Americanized, other language-wise, it was still there.
Sure.
I mean, you could still take it with like the Deep South stuff. I mean,
Sure, yeah.
The Hickerbillies and the
And
country folks and.
Well, the thing is I don't ever mean it in an insulting fashion. Is I just believe there's multiple kinds of entertainment. One of which is there's animation that's animated and there's animation that's live action.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with that.
Nope.
As long as the intent isn't to be mean, there's nothing wrong with it.
Right.
And sometimes it was, and I'm not saying that stuff was okay.
Yeah.
That stuff was bull. I'm just saying. What now? Just you. You have had those moments, yeah.
Oh, believe me.
Well, it was like, for example, I forget the character's name, but the Asian inventor kid in the Goonies. I loved him.
Data.
Hmm?
Data.
Was it Data? Really?
Because it was like data.
That's right. Yeah. Okay. There we go. I can't remember every name, unfortunately, but I loved him as a kid.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, more so than the fat kid, which I was a fat kid, so that should say something.
Which ended up being
Still a fat kid, probably.
Sean Astin.
Yeah.
Oh, so no, not Sean Astin. That was dude. Why am I blanking on his name? Truffle Shuffle Kid.
Yeah, Truffle Shuffle. Chunk.
Chunk, yeah. Which he grew
But
up.
that's easy to remember because it's a
Yeah.
wonderfully insulting name, and yeah.
He grew up to be a lawyer?
I remember him actually. Didn't he grow up to actually be very attractive and fit and stuff,
He
or
grew
at
up
least
to be,
attractive-ish?
yeah, and he actually
Which is
owns,
good
like,
for him.
Owns his own business. I think he was like a lawyer or something like that. He was doing something professional wise, but yeah, he was like, had my fun, did a few bit parts afterwards. Like, no, I'm just gonna relax.
Now I'm gonna relax and get arsonists off. Out of jail? Jail?
What?
Oh no, no, no! That's not right. That's not right. Like I said, I'm kind of burnt. Yeah, it's turning out pretty good so far.
Yeah.
It's not bad.
He's looking cute. Yeah, that's one of the ones I may want to ink later on.
Okay. So I want to make sure I got all these shapes down before I start darkening in stuff.
Apparently they have made a Funko Pop figure of Schwarzenegger's character completely covered in mud with blood coming up of his nose.
Did they? Oh! Oh, that's pretty good. That's pretty good, yeah.
It's funny. They should have actually done that in one of the Funko Pop scenes, with him sitting in the mud with the Predator looking for him. That would have been a good scene to have done.
Apparently, I have found the trailer for the Lost animated movie short film, or actually no, it's going to be an animated movie called The Governator. Done in the 90s, in that 90s style. It was literally starring Arnold Schwarzenegger
Really?
getting away from his governor position and becoming a normal citizen, but having a team of kids that goes around fighting bad things that happen in the world. He was the governor.
Okay, that sounds horrible.
And I think I got
Or
like,
amazing. I can't tell, but it sounds initially like, ooh.
I have the trailer so we can watch it later.
Because I love me some Arnie, but yeah, I'll put it this way: maybe it's good. I'll leave it open, but that potentially sounds awful.
It looked like your basic 90s cartoon when the extreme stuff that was coming out in the
Yeah, that's why.
mid
Like if
to-
it was live action, maybe.
yeah, but
but
it was like the mid to late 90s stuff that kind of pseudo blocky style that
it looked like junk. Yeah.
and it wasn't cheaply done, but it was definitely
Well, better not with Arnie in it.
I mean, it was definitely one of those ones where like we see where you're getting your work done.
Yeah.
kind of things.
Yeah, it's funny at work. I'm getting a reputation now of Eric is good at the really, really cute stuff, or the exact absolute polar opposite. I'm like, yeah, I don't like the middle ground. There's nothing wrong with cute, and there's nothing wrong with like greasy, violent, barbarian kind of action stuff. I'm like, it's the stuff in the middle, like the romance comedies. Nothing wrong with that stuff, but that's not what I'm good at.
Right.
You know, so it's kind of like, so if you're have me do a Wild West anything, it better be the cutest thing, or the grittiest, bloodiest, most over the top spectacle you can do. And
Hey, their CTA is opening applications for artists to do murals downtown.
neat.
Yeah. Fun. Probably not.
Oh.
That'd be fun, but probably not something that we could get away with. But yeah,
Well, you'd
well,
need to,
that's
have
time-wise.
done murals on a regular basis to probably get in there.
Yeah.
I mean, you've done some, but it's been a long time.
Right.
There we go.
Oh man, we missed Caden's birthday. Or is it today?
Oh, you're right. The date's slipping me. I'm
Yeah,
not.
same here. I've been so busy. I just thought about that because I like saw this thing. It's like, hey, this would be kind of cool for Caden. Oh crap! It's
Wait a
birthday.
We're horrible people.
Wait a second. Well, if this may at some point come up to happy birthday, little dude.
We suck.
Happy birthday, little dude. We suck. Love your auntie and uncle. Yeah, just this popped up a indoor winter snow brawl, 2 inflatable shields and 6 plush snowballs. I'm like, hey, I bet you that'd be kind of fun for the family. Oh crap!
Wait a minute. I just remembered an important date. I just love the luxury of being young where you can just, you've got one date you're working up to, and you always know what that date is. And I'm like, now as an adult, you're like, what? What's happening? When? What day is it?
Huh?
Huh? It's just,
Does it require me to shave above the knee? No, it ain't important.
you kidding me? I look forward to shaving above the knee.
Well, good for you.
Oh my God, we're live. Eric, no. No, don't say these things.
Too much information? Yeah.
It's funny. It's alright. Virtually nobody watches us.
Hey man, when we blow up and make people start watching it from the past,
Yeah, then they're gonna take things I've said and take them horrifically out of context in either a funny or a hideously ridiculous attempt to destroy me politically, and then they realize that I don't give a crap what anyone says. I'm just like, alright. But we're calling you a cannibal arsonist. Cool.
Do you have,
Right on.
do you have proof of that? No? Alright.
I'll be like, dude, maybe I could work that into something.
I love
Next
that
book
band.
comes out on the weekends.
I love that band.
I'm a cannibal arsonist.
Didn't they open up for Dirt Squirrels?
I hate the dirt squirrels.
Oh.
Later on, that's used against me as the dirt squirrels become huge. Dirt squirrel, did you know that this man in the past hated you? We found the evidence of it on social media. I'm like, no, don't tell the dirt squirrels what I said. Oh, there's a link right here. Oh, past Eric, what did you say on social media?
Don't
I
worry.
don't care.
Don't worry, we'll just tell them that we loved the band Mega Hella Hypocrite. I still think I want to, one of my favorite band names made up so far, and I want to make a fake band logo for it. Hallelujah.
Well, Lordy has a song called Hard Rock. It's Hard Rock Hallelujah. Maybe Hallelujah hasn't been used.
I was like, yeah, I haven't heard or seen things with Hallelujah before. So I'm
It's
like,
possible, but I can't think of it.
yeah, I think I looked it up even and I couldn't find anything. So I'm like, I want to make a fake band t-shirt. Hallelujah. That was another band name that I came up with for political stuff. Echo Chamber of Idiots. And it has to be done in that like really weird death metal font.
Well, it's either that or it just says hashtag, and it's like some ironic internet band.
Echo Chamber of Idiots. Okay, I found this stupidly funny in my current condition. I put a tiny cowboy hat on a bee. Bee haw. And somebody goes, What in pollination?
Oh. Yeah, you have to be a little medicated to find that funny. Yeah, I'm hearing what you're saying. Awesome. That's so funny.
Pollination.
Pollination. That's not bad.
Yeah, it's
It's
really
not bad
cute.
at all.
I think it's adorable. Yeah, I think I'm gonna wanna ink that one at some point.
He's kind of cute.
Yeah, he is.
Kind of feel like maybe I need to, I don't know, add a little something. I'm not sure what though.
His teeth need dimensionality.
What now?
His teeth need dimensionality.
You know, I was kind of thinking something around the mouth. Maybe it is the teeth.
Because usually his teeth have. You
I'm
can
sorry.
see usually the teeth, you can see the sides of it.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
There we go. All right, let's get some dimensionality. Whoop. There we go. I'm also thinking I want to see some shiny highlight here on the nose. Let me see here. There we go. Alright, that's a good start. Alright. Just like at the dentist.
I like the dinners.
That's cool. Nice story, bro.
Thank you, random comment. Yeah, I'll join you.
Holy random comment, Batman.
And made him and I love you, random citizen.
Yep. Oh, yep. There we go.
Somebody sent me a picture of Goofy's head photoshopped on one of the singers from Gwar, and it simply put Warsh.
Harsh. And I swear that I don't do this. I know most people don't remotely even watch this show. I get it. But it's not like I do this on purpose. I always just randomly pick the characters. So why is it I pick the worst possible characters to sit across from each other when I close my book and I seal them together in an everlasting smooch for eternity, lip-locked in some kind of horrific post-apocalyptic martial arts cutesy Disney afternoon make-out session? I mean, really, if you take Dale and you shrink him down, he's like this big. I mean, Kenshiro can fit him in his mouth, I'm sure. Let's not dwell on the last statement I just...
Yeah, I'm just... That's why I had the slow turn. I'm like, huh?
Let's not dwell upon the thing that I just said. Anywho, Kenshiro, meet Dale.
Oh,
Hope you enjoy each other's company for the rest of eternity. There you go. Right there.
well, it is the day after the day after Valentine's Day, so.
That is a funky post Valentine's Day.
Wait. Roses are red, violets are blue. Onoru wa shinderu.
Shindaru. Yeah. Yeah. These two. Gumshoe. All right, everyone have yourself